When Finance Minister Mahmoud Njai announced that 143 million out of the approved $500 million have already been spent, Gambia participates as an anti-corruption body. We are compelled to launch an investigation to establish if the millions of dollars for the fight against COVID-19 are being disbursed accordingly. Mar Nyang, Executive Director of Gambia Participates, says government from the onset has not been forthcoming as a request sent to the Ministry of Finance and Health for a detailed breakdown of expenses was denied, warranting their subsequent visits to Bansang, Soma and Basse, all of which have identified COVID-19 treatment centers to ascertain if these centers in fact qualify to be treatment centers.
Out of this 143 million, where 3.3 million was spent on sanitary items, Basse was supplied with only 6 hand sanitizers. During the course of the research, Basse don't have a mere overhead thermometer which is used to determine the fever of someone else, so where you will be able to identify if the person is suspected of COVID-19 or not. We also went to their identified isolation center. This isolation center is close to their pediatric unit, and then the isolation center has 3 beds, one without a mattress, and the 2 beds are as old as 5 to a decade old, and the condition of the toilets are unbearable. I mean, even a healthy person cannot use that particular toilet. And we also revealed that at Soma, where you have almost 230,000, if not more, population that are living within that region, the whole of the region only have one overhead thermometer, which is not in fact in the hospital. It is used at the border post. We also proceed to Bansang. Unfortunately, the officials didn't cooperate. They said we need to have a permission from the Ministry of Health for us to ask you how prepared are you, which does not make any sense to us.
According to Mr. Nyang, the investigation further showed a difference of over $1 million in the total amount spent.
If you look at, for example, hotel expenditure, according to our analysis, there is a difference of $138,000. If you look at the expenditure on food, there is a difference of $744,200. So sanitary items and then hotel altogether, there is a difference of $1,073,364, which is not reported. And that press release also only identified the 500 million. Remember, we have 512 million. 12 million was initially spent, and it added up on the 500, which is amounting to 512 million.
Programs Manager of Gambia Participates, Taslima Jallo, says government should not see them as enemies.
We are not enemies of the government. In fact, we are partners to development. And obviously, it's also good, no matter how good a sitting government is doing, it's also important that civil society also remind them and, of course, compliment their efforts. And we will continue doing what we are doing. And everybody who knows Gambia Participate knows us, on this field, trying to help, support government. We are not saying the government is corrupt, but of course, also there might be individuals, that are corrupt within the system, or that might be practicing an act of corruption. But of course, also some of them might not even know. But it will be also good for us to be able to remind them that so and so act is not right, and so on. So,
based on the findings published in the report Corona, the Gambia and the Millions, these identified COVID-19 treatment centers in Bansang, Basse and Soma are ill-equipped and need urgent attention. The report has been formally submitted to Parliament to guide them in their proceedings. Copies will also be sent to government institutions. By providing central government with copies of the report, it is believed that necessary actions will be taken to trace the monies and those found wanting be held accountable. Reporting for Paradise TV News, Lamin Fal.